Okay, so as of recording this video, the Sixers just lost in a blowout to the Boston Celtics, and there is some reasons why this team lost, because theoretically they should have beat them in Game 6 when Tatum had a horrible game. Just a horrible game. He played good in the fourth quarter but had a bad game in general, and they just didn't capitalize on the opportunity. There's a couple of reasons why, and there's also a couple things they can do to make this team better. Here is what the Sixers need to do to make another finals push or try to make the NBA finals. So first, I'm gonna start with Doc Rivers. Now, Doc Rivers is just not a good head coach. I don't know why people think he is a good head coach, because of when in 2008 to the Boston Celtics, and even when he won in 2008 with the Boston Celtics, the adjustments he made just wasn't good for the team anyway. And the only reason why they won was because of the defensive anchor that Kevin Garnett was. It just doesn't work with Doc Rivers. Here's what's wrong with him. Doc Rivers doesn't know how to adjust and use the players properly. And it's one of the reasons why I also don't like Mike Budenholzer as well, because when you're a coach, you allow the players to play, yes, but when there is certain things that aren't working, when there are certain lineups that's not working, you have to be able to adjust and be able to use your smart mind to be able to know what lineups work against one team. When your best player is clearly not playing correctly or not being utilized correctly, you need to get people off of him to make him score. But no, you just allow Al Horford to stay on Joel Embiid, and you allow him to not be able to score. You're not allowing him to just be in the post. You're allowing him to be the top of the key. You allow him to be on the elbow instead of allowing him to be in the post. We can really dominate. It just doesn't work for this team. Doc Rivers is supposed to be an amazing head coach, but keeps on blowing leads because when a team knows what their lineup is doing and they capitalize on it, Doc Rivers just doesn't adjust. He allows the team to just dominate his team, and he just watches as he doesn't know how to adjust and able to use his players accordingly. There was no reason why you have a 3-2 lead and you allow the Celtics, who had a bad Game 6. You should have capitalized on that Game 6, but you don't know how to adjust when Tatum is going dummy in the fourth quarter. He's scoring 60 points and is being open at 3-point line, and you're not adjusting to not allow him to do that. You're going to call a timeout, but not put any adjustments in there. How does that be able to work? You need to put adjustments in there, and you need to be able to use your players correctly, because if a player is not working, they don't use them. If a player is working, they use them. You need to use them correctly and allow this team to flourish, because this team has enough pieces to be able to work. I'm going to get to pieces after I talk about Doc Rivers, but I feel like Doc Rivers is one of the reasons why this team isn't working, one of the main reasons why. I feel like he's really ruining his team, as he doesn't know how to use Embiid correctly. And he's using Harden, yes, but he just needs to be able to adjust and be able to put more defensive schemes in this lineup to be able to work. Because if Tatum starts going off in the fourth quarter, I'm not going to play how I play the whole game, because I've been playing not off on Tatum, but not as hard as I should be playing on him. So when he starts going crazy in the fourth quarter, I'm going to start playing how I should be playing him in the first place. But when you don't adjust to that, and you just keep on playing how you normally play in the first 2 quarters, that's how Tatum's able to go off, because you're not adjusting to who's going crazy. You're not adjusting to what the Sixers are doing. You're just doing your own thing and not really capitalizing on what's happening towards a game. Next, let me get to the supporting cast. The supporting cast just didn't support the 2 best players. It just didn't work. I don't know what was going on. This supporting cast being very inconsistent. Tobias Harris, I've always seen him as an inconsistent player anyways, but he was playing good in the first round and then decided not to play that good in this round. He had his moments, but it was also tough when he stepped he didn't be able to. Then we have Tyrese Maxey, who I like Maxey. I'm very high on Maxey. I have stock in Maxey. And he provides a spark up the bench. He's able to come on the bench and do a spark. But it was either Game 5 or Game 6 when they just didn't help this team at all, and it just didn't allow them to win. This team could have very well beaten this team in 5 or 6 games. It was so many games where Sixers had the lead and they was able to win, but the supporting cast just didn't come in to help. It just didn't work. So let me get to James Harden. Now I'm gonna get to Joel Embiid after. So James Harden is just inconsistent with his scoring wise. Playmaking wise, he really played fine this series. I don't know why people act like his playmaking wasn't that good. They always focus on scoring when we know that he's not the best player on the team. So his scoring was needed, but at least he was playmaking a lot of teams get open. So that was very good. His playmaking was spot on this whole series. It wasn't really nothing wrong with his playmaking. It was just his scoring. He had very inconsistent showing, especially last game in Game 7. Because in Game 7, you can't just not have a good game. You had 2 40-plus plus point games, and game 1 was amazing. I watched that game. That was spectacular to watch. James Harden, like he was just back in Houston. Then he had a good game. Him and Joel Embiid went off, but you need to be able to do that consistently. At least have at least 20 points, 25 points. When you don't even pull up, we don't even reach the 10-point mark. How can you be able to do that? Like, you can't do that in a game 7 and you can't do that in game 7 and expect to win. So I feel like the Sixers just try to get Harden back because it worked with Harden and Embiid. They're just two playoff droppers. They're just inconsistent. So I feel like Harden needs to try to get back on this team and try to win another championship, because I don't know why there's this Rockets rumor, because him go back to the Rockets won't do anything for him. He's not going to win anything on that team, and he's not going to do anything on that team. He'll just do what he did again. So there's no point in going on that team. So I feel like he need to go to like a tender. I really want to go back on the Sixers because he had a really good season. He was good with Embiid. So I just feel like he needs to go back on this team, but he's just so inconsistent in the playoffs where it's just annoying. I don't know why Harden just struggles in the playoffs. Like, he just doesn't want to be consistent and score like he needs to score. The playmaking and the rim pressure was there. It's always there, but it's just the scoring. And when you need to score, he's just not there. Game 6 should have won that game, and also Game 7, they just didn't play good. They got blown out by the team. Now let's get to the MVP of the league, Joel Embiid. Now, Joel Embiid has really disappointed me this series. I don't know why he just decided to not play that good in 2 games. Now, I'll give him a pass because he was coming from an injury in game 1. I think he came back in game 2, and he played really good, but the team ended up playing bad, so it ended up hurting him coming back. So I just don't understand why Embiid just decides to just drop off in the games we need him. I was giving Embiid passes because the series where he was in before, when he played in games, he was playing either really good or his teammates would be good. Like last year, Ben Simmons is not good. Or last year he was injured and I knew he was coming back. Or year before when he had Ben Simmons, like, I give him passes on some of these series because it's not his fault. And then also when he had Jimmy Butler, they would have won that championship or with East Coast Finals, but Kawhi made an insane shot. So I don't get mad at Embiid because I know the type of player he is, and I expected him to play better when he's in the top moments. And now that he had his best season of his career, he's the MVP of the season, so I expected him to at least come in the series and playing good. And he did. He had a couple good games, and he was showing how dominant he was. But when you come into a game 7 and you don't play good at all, and you just not scoring, and you're just not being Joel Embiid, that's not a time you can do that. You can do that in game 1, 2, 3, maybe. But in game 7, a pivotal game to make you go to the Eastern Conference Finals, where you can maybe win a championship finally at the end of the season, and you decide not to do that, I don't understand why Embiid just decides to just drop off in the playoffs. He is an insane playoff dropper. He averaged 30 plus points in the regular season consistently for the past couple years, but dropped off to 24, 25, which is normal for a superstar or a player to drop off. It's normal for that. But when you drop off that dramatically and then don't show up in pivotal games, that's not good for this team. I can put all the blame on Doc Rivers for not putting him in a position to score. I can put the blame on the supporting cast on not being able to score, because he said something in a dumb interview when he said that him and Harden can't carry the team, when you and Harden was the main reason why this team lost. So I don't know what he's talking about with that. So like, I can put blame on your supporting cast. I can put blame on Doc Rivers. I can put blame on your running mate James Harden. But you also have to be able to score and also be able to do what you gotta do as well. Because yes, your coach should be bad and not really put you in a proper position, but same thing with Giannis. I don't think Mike Williams was put Giannis in the right position to score, but Giannis put himself in that position and still able to score at elite level. So if you're still an elite superstar and you still can score, then you should be able to put yourself in the right position and be able to score, even though the coach is not running the same set you could do, if that makes sense. Like, I understand, I could blame on Doc Rivers. Yes, I can. He didn't put the business adjustments around Embiid and wasn't able to adjust what he was doing. Yes, I put blame on Doc Rivers. Yes, I put blame on the supporting cast. But when you're not efficient and you're not even being dominant in a game 7, I can't put that much blame on other people around you. You have to take accountability as well. You did not play good in this game, which is okay, but you have to take blame for that. You're the MVP of this season, and you're not playing up to that par. You're not playing up to that par in a pivotal Game 7 game where you should have already won the series. Game 7, they should have won the series, but they didn't play good as they should be able to play, and they allowed Tatum to score on points. So I just feel like the Sixers team to bring back Harden. They need to have more players that can step up when Harden and them are not playing well. I don't know who they can really get. I feel like they need more wing depth as well. More players that can really help them out stretch the floor, help them out really play defense. But I really don't know what they can do. I really want him to fire Doc Rivers, but they said he might come back another season. I don't know what this team can do. They can really run it back, but they need to have a better coach who's able to adjust, able to do what they can do, and be in a proper position. And they need to have just something better for this team, so this team can really operate and play correctly.
Win alone. I can't win alone. I can't. Me and James, we just can't win alone. That's why basketball is played 5-on-5.